What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm glad to say we are finally doing something with the JZ. It's been a long time. You guys know that unfortunately we blew up the rear sump oil pan, which allegedly led to the parting out of the RX-7, RIP, and we decided to get the 240, obviously. We've been making a lot of moves on the 240, got the front sump oil pan, blah blah, and then we found out that the front sump oil pan, the upper pan, had a crack in it. Not something crazy, but it was just a slight hairline crack, but something that I did not want to risk, especially it being the upper pan. If it did end up leaking, it'd be much more a pain in the ass pretty much to replace. So I had to then source another oil pan, which took a couple weeks, but you know what? We found one. You guys remember Jake Herman, DefWorks, the guy who did my cage? He actually came in clutch with a new front sump oil pan. He had a whole set that he was trying to get rid of, but I only needed the top pan, so he was able to give me a deal. He even welded on an AN fitting to it, and I'll show you guys that right now. As you can see, here's the oil pan. It used to be a GE pan, a 2J GE pan, which means that there's no oil drain. So as you can see here, there's now an AN fitting, a -10 AN I believe, welded to the pan itself. That way, from the turbos, it can drain into the pan. So he welded that on for me, and on the turbo side here, on the motor, you can see that my oil drain tubes aren't there. And that's because he's actually, what is he doing? He's welding the -10 fittings to those as well. That way we can have AN lines throughout the whole system, and we can have a proper oil drain line system. Because I don't know if you guys remember how it was before, but it was kind of janky. It worked, but it wasn't the best way to have it made, or have it be, I guess I should say. So now we're going to have a proper oil drain line. We got the front sump pan. This one absolutely has no cracks in it. So let's go ahead and start putting this on the motor. And we do have this oil level sensor for we do that oil level sensor thing. We're actually going to end up pulling this off and getting the drift motion, like the delete panel, but for now we're going to go ahead and leave that in there. That way it's not open, or it's not out in the open, I guess I should say. But anyways, let's go ahead and head to O'Reilly's, which is over there somewhere down the street, and get some brake cleaner so we can clean up this pan and slap her on. We got 4 of them. It's probably more than we're going to need, but you know what? You always use way more than you think anyway, so it's always good to have it. So, first things first, let's go ahead and get this motor and stand and engine hoist system we got going here. And let's go ahead and move it over here, away from that oil puddle, and just with a lot more area to work with. Alright, now that the engine's over there, we can go ahead and clean off all the old silicone from this oil pan. That way we can have a nice clean surface to lay the new silicone on and made it to the motor. So let's get to that. Alright, now that the engine and the oil pan's all cleaned up, we got our OEM Toyota Seal Packing 103 FIPG. Here you go. There you go. We're going to use this to seal up the oil pan. This is what we use at work. Obviously, I've told you guys this a million times, I work at Toyota, so I asked them, I was like, yo, what do we use to seal oil pans? This is what it is. So pick this up. Gonna go ahead and lay a nice bead along the upper pan here, and then let's read the instructions. On this. Whatever, we're just gonna lay a bead on the pan, let it sit for a little bit. Then we can put it on, hand tighten it, and then blah blah blah, tighten it all the way, torque it down to spec, whatever. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to this. so we got the upper oil pan on, and then we have the pickup on now. RTV, or that self-sealing, that seal pack thing, on both of those. Next would be the, I forgot what this is called, but we have to clean this first because obviously we don't want to put this dirty thing in there. We did the same with the oil pickup there. We cleaned the heck out of it. You can see all the brake cleaner and crap that came out of it. We're gonna go ahead and clean this up, and then go ahead and bolt this on, and then the lower pan, and then the oil pan is officially on the car, and we can take it off of the stand and put the tranny back on and do a whole bunch of other stuff. Maybe even put it into the car. But this, I don't know if you guys can't tell, but I'm super stoked about this oil pan. It's been a big block in the road, and being able to put this on now is a huge relief to me. Just to show you guys why I bought so many brake cleaners, because this one's already empty, and I'm probably like a quarter way through this. I just opened this one actually. So all this, I wouldn't doubt if I ended up using this whole can just to clean this up. Fortunately, we don't have to clean that because we already did that the first time we tried to put the oil pan on this. But yeah, even if we just use this one, we got 2 more for next time, so we don't have to run to the store like we did today. Jeez, that made such a difference. I really did not need to clean it this much, but you know what? I was already cleaning it. Why just half-ass clean it when I can just clean it all the way? So let's go ahead and slap this on, get the lower oil pan on, and probably let's go ahead and bolt the tranny while we're at it, or the clutch and then the tranny, because if we're doing it now, we might as well just go all the way, right? As you can tell, we got the oil pan, the upper pan, and inside of all of that we got that little tray thing, and then the oil pickup. So technically speaking, this is done. All I'm waiting for now is for it to dry up just a little bit, so then I can crank all the bolts down to spec, and then we'll probably get to work on doing the tranny. But the big part, the part that was holding us back for so long, is finally done. We finally have an oil pan on this car, and we can get to work on finally putting it in the car, test fitting everything, see what we need to cut out, see what we need to hammer up. But yeah, this is a big step in the process, so yeah. Alright, so we went ahead and made a quick run to Ace Hardware. We got a bolt right here and a tap, which is already in the head, because one of our original intake manifold bolts were kind of stripped, I would say, and the reason being was the threads were kind of messed up on the head for some reason, only in this first bolt here. So right now we're just retapping it, and we got the new bolt in. All the other ones were fine, so we should be okay. We're just gonna clean up this one hole and go ahead and throw the intake manifold back on, because we can. We're not gonna throw the other wrinkle black stuff that we did for the turbo stuff, because we're actually waiting for our water neck that Richard, B-Side Fabrication, has, because he's modifying that for us. But why not just keep moving forward here and get the intake manifold on, since there's nothing holding us back from that. We're not waiting for anything, so it's just one more step that we can avoid. So let's go ahead and get this tapped in thoroughly and put the intake manifold back on. Alright, so we went ahead and put the intake manifold on. As you can see, we got a few of these hoses are temporary. They're just so I know where they're supposed to go to, as well as this one right here. But there's a few more vacuum hoses that I'm not too sure about, like this is fuel. This I'm not too sure. I think we're just gonna go ahead and put it into there, but I want to make sure, so I'm gonna ask Jason where he thinks they go. This is the plug. This one I'm not too sure where it goes. This I think I use this for the map sensor. But there's just a few things that I'm not too sure where they go, so I'm not gonna deal with that right now because I don't want to mess anything up. Some things like this one right here and this one here, and I think one of these two. I remember I blocked them off, so for sure this one and the one up front. This one I'm not too sure. I can't really remember. But as you can see, it's no longer on the stand. I got a little carried away and went ahead and put the clutch on there. We're gonna go ahead and lower it a little bit so we can go ahead and throw the tranny on there as well. That way it's pretty much together for the most part as far as the big pieces. So let's go ahead and get the tranny on there. You can't forget to pull this thing. Little clutch alignment tool. So as you can see, the tranny is all bolted on now. Intake manifold is on. This side's looking pretty complete. Obviously, it's not quite yet. There's missing a few vacuum lines and a few coolant lines to be routed and hose clamped. But guys, this thing is coming together really quick. Like I was saying, the oil pan or the upper oil pan was the biggest roadblock for us, and now that we have it, everything just started to flow and keep on going. So as you can see, now that the oil pan's on, we got the tranny on, and that's all bolted up. We still need to figure out a few vacuum lines and coolant lines on the intake side. This side's pretty self-explanatory, but like I said, we can't put it on yet because of our water neck. Richard from B-side, like I said, has it. He's modifying it to work without a thermostat. And one thing I want to do back here for sure is get rid of this heater core delete and redo it to where it looks a little better, because we're not running a heater. This car has none of that stuff. But we don't want to run it like this, because honestly this was kind of like a last minute thing, kind of just put it together to make it work in the RX-7. But now that we have the time, we're taking the time, let's go ahead and do this properly. So we're going to redo this, make this look a little better. But yeah, the engine is coming back together. Honestly, like, we're so close for this. But we can even test fit it in the car now if we really wanted to, but we're not going to do that today. As far as today goes, it's getting kind of late. I'm pretty tired. We've been wrenching all day on this car, or not the car, this motor. But we got a lot done. The clutch is on, the tranny is on, the oil pan is on. Thank God. I keep saying this, I don't know how many times I said it, but that thing was a pain in the ass. But as you can see, it's all on now. The motor's pretty much back together. Not that the motor was taken apart, but like the drivetrain. You guys know what I'm talking about. All we need to do is put the turbo stuff on there, fix the vacuum lines and a little bit of coolant lines, and the motor is good to go. Also, the harness. I am gonna go with a wiring specialties harness. I do have the modified OEM harness, but just because I want everything to be kind of clean and new, we're just gonna go ahead and go with that, just so we can simplify it a little bit, clean it up a little bit, just make it look a lot nicer as well. So I hope you guys liked today's video. That's about it. Thank you, DevWorks. Thank you, Jake Herman, for the oil pan. You saved my life. You got the biggest roadblock that I've been going through out of the way. So like I said, hope you guys like the video. Peace out, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Click that notification button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.